Imagine unearthing a massive golden mask in the middle of a Chinese field. It doesn't look Chinese, it doesn't match anything in ancient history. And worse, it belongs to a civilization no one ever wrote about. No records, no mentions, no myths, just gone, vanished. What if I told you that one of the greatest civilizations in history might have existed and disappeared without ever making it into the textbooks? In 1986, two humble bricklayers were digging near a riverbank in Guanghan, Sichuan province. They expected to find dirt. Maybe some rocks. Instead, they hit treasure. Gold masks, jade tools, elephant tusks, and artifacts that didn't match any known Chinese dynasty. China's top archaeologists rushed in, stunned. These weren't from the Han, not from the Shang, not even the Zhou. What they had found was something completely unknown. They called it the Sanxingdui Civilization, named after the nearby village. And what it revealed was so shocking, it rewrote ancient Chinese history. The Sanxingdui people lived around 1200 BCE, roughly the same time as the pharaohs of Egypt and the fall of Troy. But here's the catch, they were not connected to the major Chinese dynasties we know. They didn't use Chinese writing, they didn't build the Great Wall, they didn't follow Confucianism. In fact, they were so different, some experts believe they may have been an entirely separate ethnic group, with their own gods, language, and worldview. And yet, they were technologically advanced. Now here's where it gets truly bizarre. Among the 10,000 items unearthed, some of the most famous include a 5-foot-tall bronze tree with spiraling branches, a massive golden mask with alien-like features, human statues with wide, hollow eyes, and strange headgear, bronze figures sitting cross-legged, as if meditating or communicating with something divine. None of it looks Chinese, none of it resembles anything else in the world. Some artifacts even suggest they believed in sky gods or interdimensional beings. Naturally, the conspiracy theories began. Were they in contact with aliens? Was this Atlantis, but in Asia? Despite the alien look, experts agree on one thing: these people were brilliant engineers. Their bronze casting techniques were centuries ahead of their time. Their tools showed precision. Their ceremonial items were crafted with mathematical symmetry. But they weren't just engineers, they were deeply spiritual, maybe even theocratic. Their altars, statues, and ritual pits suggest they may have practiced large-scale ceremonies, sacrifices, offerings, and possibly attempts to communicate with the stars. And then, just like that, they were gone. No war, no plague, no clear signs of destruction. The entire Sanxingdui city was abandoned sometime around 1000 BCE. Some believe a massive earthquake changed the river's course, cutting off their water supply. Others think internal collapse or even migration led them away into obscurity. But wherever they went, they left nothing behind. No descendants, no stories, no writing system. As if history had simply deleted them. What if Sanxingdui wasn't an isolated civilization? What if they were part of something bigger, a lost network of cultures that predated China as we know it? Some researchers believe the Sanxingdui may have been connected to the ancient Shu kingdom, a semi-mythical culture mentioned in early Chinese texts, but never confirmed until now. Recent discoveries in nearby Jinsha, just 50 kilometers away, unearthed similar artifacts, gold foil, bronze masks, and ivory. The implication: Sanxingdui wasn't a one-off mystery. It might have been the capital of a powerful kingdom that ruled vast territories. In 2001, construction workers in Chengdu struck something strange. More gold masks, more elephant tusks, and more Sanxingdui-style relics. They had found the Jinsha ruins, and suddenly, the Sanxingdui mystery deepened. Jinsha appeared to rise shortly after Sanxingdui vanished. Same artifacts, same beliefs, same craftsmanship. Was this where they went? Had the Sanxingdui people migrated, rebuilt, and restarted? Many now believe that Sanxingdui didn't collapse, it moved. The river changed course, the land dried up, and the survivors found a new home. Let's talk tech. Sanxingdui's bronze casting was at a level far ahead of its time. Their craftsmen used the section mold casting technique, long before it appeared in other cultures. Bronze statues over 8 feet tall, intricate tools, perfectly balanced ceremonial objects. Some of the molds they used were multi-piece systems, allowing them to create shapes no one thought possible 3,000 years ago. And then there's the bronze wheel, a mysterious disc with spokes found among the relics. Historians are still debating what it was: a symbol, a mechanical tool, a calendar, or something we're not advanced enough to understand yet. Several Sanxingdui artifacts show cosmic symbolism. Bronze sun symbols, eyes shaped like stars. Objects aligned with celestial directions. Experts suggest Sanxingdui priests may have been early astronomers, using temples and artifacts to track the stars, possibly to determine planting seasons or conduct rituals. But there's a deeper theory. Some believe they didn't just observe the stars. They worshipped them, or maybe they believed they came from them. The giant bronze tree discovered in Pit 2. Its roots stretch downward, its branches spiral upward. Some say it represents the axis mundi, a connection between heaven, earth, and the underworld, as with any mystery. The Sanxingdui Civilization has its fair share of wild theories. Alien contact theory. Some point to the non-human faces on the masks and statues. The large eyes, the narrow faces, the advanced metallurgy. Could it be ancient extraterrestrial influence? Prehistoric global civilization theory. A growing number of fringe historians believe Sanxingdui may have been part of a long-lost, pre-dynastic global civilization. Their technology, they say, may have originated from a forgotten golden age. Atlantean parallel Atlantis is a myth, yes. But the Sanxingdui Civilization's sudden rise and abrupt disappearance mirrors Plato's story. Did the world once have many Atlantean-like cultures, rising and falling in silence? In 2021, China reopened excavations at Sanxingdui. This time, they had new technology: ground-penetrating radar, DNA analysis, AI-based reconstruction. And what they found shocked everyone: silk fragments, suggesting an advanced textile industry. More gold foil box sealed shut, with contents still unknown. A human skull. Embedded with strange material, the work continues. But one thing is clear: Sanxingdui is no longer just a mystery of the past. It's a living puzzle. And every time we dig deeper, we find more questions than answers. One of the strangest facts about Sanxingdui: they left behind no written language. Not a single scroll, no carvings, no pictograms. Not even symbols that resemble early Chinese script. It's as if they deliberately erased their voices from time. Or maybe their culture was entirely oral, relying on speech, song, and ritual to pass knowledge down generations. This makes Sanxingdui one of the only advanced Bronze Age civilizations with no discovered written system, and that makes interpreting them nearly impossible. Let's talk about the masks. Sanxingdui masks are some of the most iconic and unsettling artifacts ever found. Some are wide-eyed, others are serene. Many are exaggerated, with oversized ears, elongated faces, and mystical expressions. But why? Historians believe these masks weren't just art. They were power objects worn by priests or elites to channel divine energy or embody celestial beings. In some cases, the masks had holes on the sides, designed to be tied to human faces or statues. What were they trying to become? Gods? Spirits? Or something from the stars? The bronze trees found at Sanxingdui are unlike anything in the world. Tall as spiraled, covered in birds, dragons, and orbs. Some of them are over 13 feet tall, built from multiple casted parts, then assembled like divine machines. Researchers believe they represent the tree of the universe, a sacred axis connecting heaven and earth. A motif found not just in China, but around the ancient world. From the Norse Yggdrasil to the Hindu Kalpavriksha to the Mayan ceiba tree, nearly every ancient culture envisioned a tree as the center of existence. And here it was, again, in Sanxingdui. But was this coincidence or memory? If you look closely at Sanxingdui's artifacts, you'll notice something else: symmetry, precision, harmony. Their bronze objects were cast with a level of care that implies mathematical knowledge. Some masks align perfectly to the golden ratio, others follow geometrical patterns unseen in other Chinese relics. Even their decorative jade pieces show polishing techniques still hard to replicate today, without iron tools. How did a forgotten civilization master such advanced geometry? And what does it mean that no one else in nearby regions used the same styles? The influence of Sanxingdui is finally being recognized, not just by historians, but by the public. Their golden masks have inspired fashion, film, and architecture. You'll now see Sanxingdui motifs in Chinese sci-fi films, Olympic costumes, and even NFT art collections. And yet, most people still don't know who they were. They're becoming pop culture icons with no identity. A silent legacy, a ghost brand of a forgotten people. At some point around 1000 BCE, Sanxingdui was abandoned completely. Ritual pits were sealed. Tools left behind, towers and temples collapsed into time. Archaeologists found no signs of invasion. No burn marks, no mass graves, only stillness. It's possible they migrated or were absorbed by later cultures like the Zhou or Chu. But there's one theory that chills even the experts. They didn't just disappear physically. They may have chosen to vanish, spiritually, ritually, collectively. An intentional ending, a civilization that erased itself. On purpose. Why should we care? Because the Sanxingdui challenge our understanding of civilization itself. They weren't part of the mainstream. They didn't leave books, they didn't conquer, and yet they thrived, built, created, and left behind questions we're still not smart enough to answer. In an age obsessed with digital history, the Sanxingdui remind us that not all stories are saved, and not all genius is recorded. Some legacies live only in the dust. In the last decade, the Sanxingdui mystery has returned to the spotlight, this time with help from AI, satellite imaging, and molecular archaeology. Scientists are now analyzing soil samples from the ritual pits. They've discovered traces of organic materials that suggest ancient offerings, grains, rare plants, and even possible psychoactive substances. In one sealed bronze vessel, researchers found residue of an unknown compound, possibly incense or something more ceremonial. And thanks to AI reconstruction, we now have digital models of Sanxingdui temples, priests, and masks, visualizing a world we once thought lost forever. Here's a thought. What if Sanxingdui never truly disappeared? What if their descendants live on, in traditions, in rituals, in bloodlines, across China and beyond? Some locals in Sichuan claim that their grandmothers told stories of golden-eyed gods and hidden temples. Others point to art styles in southern China, Southeast Asia, and even the Pacific Islands that echo Sanxingdui motifs. It's possible their people migrated, not vanished, leaving behind subtle fingerprints in forgotten corners of culture. Sanxingdui may not be gone. They may be hiding in plain sight. There's one final theory. What if we're asking the wrong questions? What if Sanxingdui wasn't a failed kingdom, but something else entirely? A spiritual society, built not for conquest, but for connection. A transient civilization, never meant to last, only to transform, or a kind of temporal experiment. A sacred culture designed to vanish and leave behind mystery as part of its purpose. Think about it. They mastered art, metal, myth, but not writing. They built, offered, disappeared, without monuments to ego or war. Maybe the Sanxingdui didn't vanish because they were lost. Maybe they vanished because they were complete. In the end, the Sanxingdui are more than just a lost chapter of history. They are a reminder that civilizations can rise, shine, and fall without warning. That brilliance doesn't always announce itself. That truth isn't always written down, and legacy isn't always loud. They were creators, mystics, engineers, and perhaps something more. Today, all we have are fragments. Gold masks, jade tools, bronze trees, but in those fragments lies a question whispered across time. What will we leave behind when we vanish? If this story made you curious, don't forget to subscribe. Because the world is full of lost empires, hidden truths, and forgotten legends. And we're only just beginning to uncover them. Let's keep exploring together.